time is it? 6:15, Lake Okeechobee.
How'd you end up getting in the Forest Wood Cup? How does that work? Like a high
school
tournament?
50. Room for 3 batteries. I've got a 36 volt on my trike, but 24 volt is plenty strong. But you can run, tournament fishing, you can run 2 batteries down in a day.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But a 36 volt you can't. But the 24 is just about as strong as the other one. All right, where's your rod at?
The reason I like braid is because it casts far, but that's probably because I was using crap reels.
Here's a little knot that I tie. It's called a San Diego jam. You just run it through there one time, and you pinch it right there. With the braid, you're gonna wrap it about 8 times.
I use the double Palomar knot.
Palomar is a good knot, but for certain lines, it's not very good. And then you pull it down, and then when you pull it down, you'll feel it turn over, and the tag comes back this way, and it will not slip.
That's good.
And it's quick, a lot quicker than a Palomar. Let's see if I can cut that right there. Another thing that's bad about the braid too, is the current going through there.
Is there bluegill?
Yeah, there's a lot of bluegill in the lake. Another thing that's bad about it, in fact I may have to, this will work for a few minutes.
I can
the
use
bad
your
thing
rod
about
if you
this
want.
is the fact that the prop baits, that braided line will get hung around that blade.
Do you want me to use one of your?
Way down on the other side of that little green.
Oh, you'll see 100 gators. I'm surprised we hadn't had a bite of it.
Yeah, I only like braid when I'm fishing.
What kind of braid do you use?
55.
Way down on the other side of that little green.
Oh, you'll see 100 gators. I'm surprised we hadn't had a bite of it.
Way down on the other side of that little green.
I'm in the monkey box, throwing topwater bait.
Really?
Yep. I got Kyle from New Hampshire, high school team. First time on Lake Okeechobee, catching a few on top. Man, he's working a spook as good as anybody can fish down here. FLW Cup, School Cup started today.
Yeah, about.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Is it Huntsville?
Yep. Scott and Brandon both are up there. So maybe we'll get another cup.
Oh, would that be sweet or what?
Yeah, I don't think there's a town anywhere that's got even 2 of them. Well, Wilson got 2, but nobody has 3. I'd like to see Brandon win it.
I'm working the spook so good right
All right, here we go, dude. We're at about 8 minutes. We got plenty of talking, plenty of time.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Co-hosted Nibbles and Bites for the past 13 or 14 years. Co-hosted Hotel with Steve and Dave every Saturday morning on WOKC. Mr. Steve Daniels. John, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning, Billy. How you doing?
Doing real good. Where you went okay this morning?
I'm in the monkey box.
You got what you do.
I got Kyle from New Hampshire, and his dad, they came down first time ever. He's in a high school team up in New Hampshire, and we're throwing topwater baits. I tell you what, he's working a spook about as good as anybody I've ever seen.
Putting a whole new meaning to walking the dog, huh?
He can work the dog. You know, we got so many different topwater baits. We caught some on twitch baits. We haven't caught any big ones yet this morning though, but we've had a few bites, but it's been a little slower this morning. We've probably caught 7 or 8 fish, but there's just no big ones yet. But man, what a great day to fish. It's kind of got a little foggy over toward the east, so it's keeping the sun down a little bit. It's calm. It's just, man, it's beautiful out here.
It's a great time to be out of the water. And let's talk about, you know, not a lot of people throw the spook much anymore. It's a long time bait. I believe Heddon makes it, same company that makes torpedoes, right?
Yeah, there's so many different kind of walking baits now. The Zara Spook was the first walking bait, and they're still good. They're still as good as ever. And again, now there's like 50 different kinds of walking baits, and they're all good. It's all about how you fish it, and it takes a little skill to be able to fish a walking bait like that. The really good guys, I mean, they can make them do anything but go backwards. Basil Bacon can make one go in a circle. And it's just incredible the things they do with those walking baits. But, you know, the Missouri guys were always really good. Charlie Campbell, Stacy King, those guys, they kind of perfected that kind of fishing many, many years ago. But a spook is a bait that'll catch them anywhere. But the thing about a spook, you got to have enough open water to throw it. If you get to leaning, you know, and once a little piece of grass gets on it, it's no longer, you know, going to work. So it's usually not a real efficient bait. But here in the monkey box, the water's real clean, it's real open. It's just the perfect place to be throwing it.
So what's so neat about it is compared to other baits that you're usually twitching towards yourself, this one's going sideways. When you do get a bite of a spook, man, it's nothing like it, is it?
Nothing like it. Not flopper, whatever that thing is. You guys are throwing them. You can get some bites in that thing too, man. When they hit it, it's big time.
Yeah, that's a steady retreat twitch deal, man. Those got that one down pat. And you know, spooks, they come in all kind of different sizes. And I want to ask you this. You know, you eat a lot of topwater baits. I've got like 3 different sizes of the torpedo. You got the tiny, you got the baby, and then you got the big daddy. And I throw the baby, which is about a 3.5 inch. But why would you throw a big bait like the bigger size? To go for bigger fish or what?
Well, I throw the big one the most. It's like my jerk bait. I don't ever throw a little jerk bait because I'll catch little bitty bass on that number 14 Husky jerk, which is a big bait. I mean, I catch fish on it that aren't as big as the lure. So why throw a little one, you know? And the bigger ones tend to want to eat a bigger bait. Same with a spook. I would really never ever throw a little spook on Lake Okeechobee because you're gonna catch 12-inch bass on the big one. You know, I've thrown that big fro rat down here. You know that big bait that's like throwing a shoe. You know, and it's a big old rat. It comes a weight bait. I've caught 2-pounders on that thing. I've caught fish that weren't as so. Fish down here on Okeechobee seem to want a Florida bass especially. They want a big lure most of the time.
All right, you mentioned a while ago at the FLW championship. Is that what you were talking about? It takes place this weekend, gets underway today?
Yeah, the Forcewood Cup there in Huntsville, Alabama, and I talked to Scott Martin last night. That was after their practice, getting ready to go today, and gonna have him and Brandon both on Hooked Up with Steve and Deb this weekend, talking about their practice a little bit and what they're expecting. But that tournament will be over with on Sunday, and this is the biggest event for the FLW Tour. We got one on now, so. But anyway, it's another small one. But anyway, yeah, it's the biggest tournament on the FLW Tour. I think the winner gets $300,000. You know, the money's down from what it was just a few years ago. Scott Martin won it several years ago, won $600,000. And but even the Bassmaster Classic, you know, with the economy the way it is, they're not paying what they did just a few years ago.
Well, we mentioned a little earlier about trying to get a Brandon McMillan to win this. Scott won it a few years back.
Didn't we?
And then you was actually the
Turn that
very
way.
first one to win
Away
the
from the
Cup on the Big O back in 2000.
Yeah, I won the very first one. I think I won $30,000 in that tournament, and to me, it might as well have been $300,000 because it was a big win. You know, I beat David Fritz throwing a crankbait up in Lake Sinclair up in Georgia, and on a lake that he had won just about everything he ever had up there. So beating him on that lake was a big deal. But you know, it's come a long way since 1996 when we had the first tour when it started down here. You know, Mike Sermon, the own Gambler Bait at the time, he's still fishing the tour. He won the very first one, and I won the second one down here. Beat Roland throwing a jerkbait down here in February 1996. And man, that just seems like a few weeks ago, and that's been a long time. 1996, that's a long time ago.
20 years, right? 20 years. Let me ask you, so I was mistaken then. You won the Force
Yeah, it was that same year that I won down here on Okeechobee. It was in a spring, you know.
Here's bait.
Through the waters. Right below the ice level. Grab one.
That's a gator.
They're all laying at the bottom.
Catching a few bass out here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a little schooling bass, nothing big.
yeah. We're gonna go in.
Yesterday, specks and bass.
Yeah. Yeah, I went actually crappie fishing a week ago. One of my sponsors, we fished in the monkey box, caught them in there, caught some good ones.
Yeah.
Out in the high drill on jigs, just like you fish in the wintertime.
I can't catch them over there right now, but a couple of weeks ago, yeah. Right there on that, right there where that lily pads are.
Yeah.
Point,
Yep.
that's where we're getting them now.
All right, just wanted to check with you.
The thing, it's silly, the Velcro sticks.
Fish through it. What should I throw?
Woo, that wind's picking up.
A storm rolled in, so we had to move locations and outrun it, but after that I ended up catching a 6.66 pounder and almost an 8 pounder.